Richard. Hello, and everyone, and welcome back to our 7th session of our new Pathfinder Second Edition campaign. How's everyone doing?
Good.
I am a bit in pain at the moment, as my back is killing, but hopefully I won't be so angry as to kill all your characters this session. So that's something to look forward to.
If we can get through with at least half alive, we can call it a win.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just be aware. That's the owl who watches over me, hooting in the distance. That's fine.
Emphasis on the owl.
The owl, yeah, the owl.
Owl.
All right. Well, in that case, if everyone is ready and has a drink and all that jazz, let us begin, shall we?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Right. So last we left our heroes, our adventurers had made their way after having made their way to the village of Eilishire and travelling with the Wood Elves to the city of Sethel, they met the Kayadar, the 10,000-year-old ancient being who has looked after the elves, the Rodran elves in this region of Adana for a good long time, keeping alive the great tree of Sethel, which is this sort of magical ancient tree that seems to be inexplicably or intricately linked with the Kayadar's power in some way. You saw a whole bunch of different stuff around. Ooh. Yeah, you saw a whole bunch of different things around, including some elven theatre. You went to like a grove, and meanwhile, during that night, Yarrow had this. Was it a vision? Was it a dream? Was it a real thing? Of being taken by some fox spirit into the sort of root network underneath the trees, where she saw rows and rows of jars that seemed to be harboring like ash in them, and being directed to one of the jars by the fox spirit, who said that jar belonged to a particularly nasty person. Yarrow was convinced to deface it and sort of upturn it and throw the heart out of the jar. Whilst meanwhile, Henning had a vision from his strange patron of some sort, who called himself Vance, and said that he had left a blueprint somewhere within the city of Sethel. And he would guide Henning to it to make a weapon that should be able to give him revenge of some sort. And the way to do that is to distract the Kayadar by causing a distraction. So that being said, it is so just before we left off. Then you were heading towards the Kayadar, right? Isn't that right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So she wanted to speak to you on this day, which is the 40th day of spring. So, as you enter again into the room with the Kayadar, you see her standing before you, this strange kind of ethereal beauty that she has, mixed with a very mortal-looking form, covered in scars and raised sort of like scarring across her green skin. So here's what you see. Again, the Kayadar on the throne. You also see that her two people stood either side of her. You saw them earlier. To the left is High Lord Nace. You remember Simeon talking to him. And on the guy on the right, you don't know his name. But they are talking to each other. Simeon bows. He directs you all to bow.
I bow.
I bow.
I bow.
There I bows.
I will bow when Cascus bows.
Does Cascus bow?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you're quite quiet, Matt.
Oh, am I? I said it, yes, Cassius bows.
Okay, cool. All right. Kayadar stands forward and says, welcome all again. I hope you have been treated well and kindly. Our hospitality is unpracticed, let's say.
It's been wonderful here. Thank you.
Very good. Apologies. We have been meeting all morning. There was an occurrence last night which has stumped many of us.
What kind of occurrence, if I might ask?
There was a death.
A death?
A death, yes. One of our Rodran hunters, a hunter named Tanathil, was found dead in his bed this morning. We do not quite understand what has happened to him, but we have suspicions.
I do not mean to be crude, but do people not die fairly regularly? I mean, you know, things come and go.
Not here. And Kaidar says not here. We do not have many deaths here at all.
See?
What? So I was just gonna say, while this conversation's going on, can Henning sort of subtly look, with his eyes, as to where this blueprint might be in this room?
As opposed to
anything
looking with
obvious?
what else?
I mean, like he's not. What I mean is he's not
Yeah.
like moving around to look.
No,
he's
sure.
just
Make
sort
make a perception check for me.
Just starts wandering around.
of- So don't mind me. As he just lifts up the chair that she's on. It's like, no, don't mind me.
There's like any secret compartments behind here. All right, make a perception.
Through your pockets.
Oh, I roll so bad.
So having a look through here, you feel like this is somewhere a part of the area that Vance wasn't entirely directing you to. In the back of your mind, you hear Vance as you look towards the door on the right hand side of the room, which goes into the Kaidar's own chambers itself. You hear Vance whispering, saying, "It's over there."
Okay, cool.
Kayadar steps forward and says, "None of you know anything about this death, I assume."
No?
No. Not to me.
Not at all.
I know nothing.
Very well. It is strange. If I told you that we didn't have deaths here, it might be hard to believe. But we have not
It
had
is
one.
rather hard to believe, actually.
We have not had one for many centuries. The food that we drink, the tree itself, it gives a sort of protection from sickness and illness. Even those who are mortally wounded, will very rarely pass the veil here. This is not until they leave again, when they
If
pass
it's-
away.
If it is not too forward of me to ask, was the death natural?
It seems to be. It
See.
seems to. It seems that he died in his sleep.
Well, he kind of pushes forward a little bit, and says, "My name is Cascas. I do not think I've properly introduced myself, but if you do require services to investigate the dead, I can make my schedule free at a cost."
Thank you, Cascas. I'll bear that in mind. I have been consulting the cards as to the events that you described when you first arrived here. I fear that I may not have that many answers for you. But I may have some. She begins to take out like a small little deck of cards. And she puts the cards on the ground in front of her, like in a circle, and there's like 9 cards that sort of like go into a circle around her. She stands and just sort of stares at them for a moment and says, "This is what I keep drawing over and over again for the last day now." The top, the sort of the cards themselves seem to be mostly like interweaving, like the pictures on them seem to be mostly interweaving different locks of like vines and flowers and stuff. It's very hard to read, and all look very similar except for like very slight changes. And she says, it is something to do with the flower known as Acidian, I'm sure. But it is not to do with the priests. I'm sure with that as well. I have a feeling that the humans are somehow responsible.
What could that mean?
I don't know. But if you want to find the truth, it's suggesting to follow the flowers.
So, if we look for Acidian, we might find our answers as to what's going on.
That is what the cards are suggesting.
I see.
Question: would people generally consider Cascus to be human?
Yeah, humans come in all sorts of shapes and sizes,
Okay.
Even with horns.
even with horns.
So in the party there would be like 3 humans.
Yeah.
So tiefling's like an additional quality as opposed to an overall race like in other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like there's different species that can also have tiefling.
Yeah.
Like you know, elves can become tieflings. and
So you're
stuff.
like a tiefling human.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, human tiefling, which would be the way it works from the rules wise.
The Kaidar says, yes, it's if you can follow any human interference in the production or selling of Acidian, then I'm sure that you'll find more answers than I can give you.
I will keep that in mind.
There is another thing I must ask you. She looks up at you all, and you see a sort of almost solemn expression come over her face. She says, "It's no secret that we're losing this war. And I've thought many times about how we are to remedy that situation. But I think now it's time to start asking for help." And the 2 elf sort of men behind her sort of look at each other, almost quite shocked. And she sort of puts a hand up to silence them without even looking back. And she continues saying, "The humans are fickle, and they have come to these shores without understanding its true power. But I am desperate that we need to find allies, and we will not find them in the Sidon."
You think the humans will help you?
I do not know. I know that there are some humans who will.
If I may, you have lots here to trade. With what I have seen in these mountains, in this tree, in all that you have, I am sure you could buy an army from the humans.
You are speaking of mercenaries.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
I
If
know you
anything-
do not like trade, but is how the humans work.
If anything, what we need is ships. That's what the Sidon are lacking, and there is an ocean between Akate and Rodrana. If the humans could get involved and create a blockade, then the Garenia, who are fighting us, will not be able to have any supplies. And we will be able to finally defeat them and win the war for good.
Well, I imagine we would be going to Port Hedron at some point soon.
If I may. And can Cascastur make an impression, please? Just
Sure.
about the slightly before he says what he's about to say.
Yeah, sure. So is that a diplomacy check?
Yep, it is. I can't remember what it's. Nope, your lead. So 19 is a pretty high roll.
Oh, yeah, nice.
If I may. I do not mean to seem obtruse, but if you tell the humans of this weakness, do you not risk the humans just simply telling the Saitan that they know you're going to lose? You could bring to the end a stalemate that was at least perceived to exist.
That is a risk that we'll have to take. But now that you have seen our way of life and the way we live, are you not convinced? Do you not want to protect this place? Do you not want to protect our people?
I cannot speak for everyone here. Cyan pointedly looking at Cascas. But I certainly am.
It's quite the amazing place you have. It'd be a shame if it were to be gone.
Sorry.
Ominous music in the background.
Well, have a sleep on it. We have a celebration coming up. It's the full moon. In 2 days. You are welcome to stay until then. And then after we've had our celebrations and sung the songs and put the next month ahead of us and the last month behind us, you can go on your way back to Port Hedron. I will make it sure. I'll make sure that you go in peace.
And may I inquire about Ilas and his fellow Saitan compatriots? Have you made a judgment on their case?
We have given them the choice. If they wish to join us, then we will let them. But otherwise, if they still want to go free, we will let them go. But Ilas will remain here.
Ilas will remain here. May I ask why?
He took a shade steel blade from us.
I think he has punished quite severely for that misdemeanor.
Nevertheless, he is of High Lord stock. Even in war, ransom may sometimes be necessary.
Is there any way we can see him?
She turns to the guy to her right, High Lord Nace, and says, is there any chance that the humans can see Aelus? And he sort of looks and says, bring him in. He nods to a couple of guards who nod back at him and walk out the door. And then after a few moments, being led into the room via a couple of Rodran hunters is Aelus. Yeah, flanked by a couple of hunters. You see that he has like a stump now wrapped in cloth where his wrist once was, where his hand once was. And he's brought up to you all. He looks well. Like, he doesn't look as bad as he did before, but he sort of nods at you all and says, "What did you wanted to see me?" And the Kaidas says, turns to you all and says, So now you know that he is safe.
It is good to see you, Alice. I see you are being kept in good health. Taking out of the stump.
I'll
Keeping
never
a
hold a
little
sword
bit-
again.
Ah, well, you can always relearn with the other hand.
Well, this is my home now,
Yes. Well, it
for the
is a
time being.
beautiful place to call home, is it not?
He scoffs and says, "I was born on the slopes of Sadar, on the shores of Sadar. I'm a merchant elf by blood, not a woodland elf."
Ah, eh, we have something in common. Hmm? And your family must be ever so worried about you.
I have not had contact with them yet. But the Kaidar has assured me that all attempts will be made to contact my family, perhaps
Oh, well,
ransom me back.
we could always establish contact ourselves. We are quite a dab hand with those types of things.
Well, if you ever find yourself in the city of Kasara, then my family will be gracious to hear about me, I suppose.
And who is your you don't need to be so rude. I'm not a native of this continent. Who are your house, your family?
My father is named Korvax. Korvax Sikar. Our family is under the fealty of House Darwin, though.
Very good.
And where did you say you were from again?
The island of Sadar.
Well, we will do it with the utmost of sensitivity, given the way that your gracious hosts have looked after you so well.
Very well. The Kaidar sort of turns to him and whispers something in his ear, and then the Roger and Hunters take him away.
Mike, so is this the island on the Kasara, the island on the right-hand side of Akate? It's kind of like a small little island.
Yeah, it's called Sadar as the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Kasara is where he's from.
Cool.
Kaidar says, well, I will leave you now. If you have any more questions, well, if you have any more questions, ask them now. Otherwise, I will go.
I'm sure I spoke to Simeon earlier about perhaps speaking to you alone.
Oh, right, yes. Come with me. We will speak in my quarters.
Oh, this is not necessary. You can say everything in front of us.
No, Cascus, I can't.
Oh, you're saying that with a lot of, we are good friends.
Friends is
Wow.
pushing it.
Now.
He's
If
the
Cyan
truth.
wishes to speak in private, Cyan may speak in private, Cass.
He like twizzles his kind of cloak slightly as he turns on the spot.
Very well. In that case, the rest of you may go on your way. Cyan, come with me. And she walks you through to her chambers. Her chambers are very, very plain. It's mostly wood, wooden floor, sort of like a wooden bed frame that's sort of almost like a four-poster bed that has like silk sheets hanging down from the corners of them. But in the corner of the room, there's this sort of almost fountain-like thing that seems to have blood running through it. It's like a fountain. It's got like a spout at the top of it. It's just like trickles what would normally trickle water into it, but it seems to be trickling like a deep red crimson blood into this pool. She closes the door behind you as you enter, and she says, "Very well, say it. What is it?"
You know why we're here.
Yes, because you came here. You were forced here by the assassin in yellow.
The reason I met my compatriots in Port Hedron. The reason we came to this place is there has been murders there as well. Murders they blame the elves for.
Which elves?
You.
It's the first time hearing about it.
The Sea Lord died and he cannot be revived. Stories similar to what they believe happened to, was it the Padron?
Yeah, the Padron.
To the Padron.
Well, are you asking me if I did it?
I think I already have my answer.
Then what do you wish to know?
I don't wish. There are some things I wish to know, but more so, I desire to say not everyone in this company has your wishes at heart.
You think I have lived this long without being a good judge of character? I know exactly what people desire. I know what wishes people have at heart. I can see it from a single glimpse. As I can tell that you are not who you claim to be either. She stares directly into you, and for a moment you feel almost naked with her looking down at you. But I do not disqualify someone based on the thoughts they have at the forefront of their mind. It is what is in there, deep in their hearts, that matters. And until I am betrayed, I tend to look on people with a more favourable light.
That is honorable. I have been harmed too many times by people to have this same proclivity, the same thoughts. But
And has it done you any good, Cyan?
it's kept me alive.
But has it done you any good?
Truly, I don't know if I should stop or not, but
Let me give you some advice. If you want to live, and if you want to take revenge, those two might be mutually incompatible. You can either live, or you can have your vengeance. We do not get the choice of both, to have both. You are on the path to make yourself some big enemies.
I understand. I just wish to warn in case some great harm came. The humans might not be as prone to persuasion. And it would hurt me greatly to see you all harmed.
I have been here for 10,000 years. I have not stepped outside this tree's root network for 2,000 years at least. There is a time that everything must come to an end. The elves will not be around forever. And I feel it is my destiny to see this transition period through. We are losing this war, Cyan. Do not go down with me. And she turns and faces the pool. You watch as she sort of waves her hand over the top of it, and it begins to sort of ripple. Come, Cyan. Have a look in the pool.
Cyan kind of shrugs and does so tentatively.
You see, like it's like an opaque, like crimson blood sort of pool, like fountain. And as you look down it, you see your reflection looking back at yourself. She says, every person, every Rodran, their spirits end up here, in this pool. She turns to you and says, this is the secret of this tree, Cyan. It is their lives, their souls that give us power. That gives the Rodrans the power to continue. People give their lives for no afterlife. There is nothing for them. All they have is what they have in their life. You see, as she waves her hand above it, you see like faces like begin to sort of rise out of the pool and then like sink beneath more again.
His head just kind of just jars back like ah.
Like hundreds of like little faces just sort of popping out of the pool and then going back down. Occasionally they'll like whisper something. They'll be like ah, and then like sort of go beneath the pool again.
Do they seem content, or are they like more of the screaming face variety?
No, they seem content enough.
Okay.
Our people were cursed long ago. Well, my people. We do not have the gifts that humans have, or others, of a fulfilling afterlife. We are given a long mortal life, and then that is it. Our power is recycled and goes to the next generation. I've seen so many die. And I know that I will join them one day. It does not make me sad. Just, I want you to see where I'm coming from. This has been a tragedy the last 5 years. Sidon and Rodrans killing each other. It has been a long time coming. But when you return back to Port Edron, you have a choice. You can either try and get the humans to help us, or things can go on as they are. And this place might not be around for much longer. Now leave me, she says.
Cyan just kind of looks pensively in the pool for like a couple seconds more. Is Nyx around? Is she reacting in any way around the pool? Is she like glitching out?
You see her like stare, like she's kind of like in her leaf form at the moment, and she's sort of just on your shoulder. But you can tell, like, if she had eyes in that form, she'd just be staring like directly at the pool. She says something in your ear. She says, "Why does that seem so familiar?"
Cyan very audibly and noticeably gulps and just kind of rushes out of the door.
Yeah, you see the Kayadar doesn't even look back. She just continues to stare down at the pool. All right, so eventually, Cyan, you catch up with the rest of the group who is heading, I assume, back to the boarding house.
Mm-hmm.
What's everyone doing?
Cascus has a bit of a spring in his step, and he's kind of seems quite pleased with himself.
Oh.
He kind of goes along.
Guess. We forgot.
Mm-hmm. What did we forget?
We forgot the blood. We forgot the blood. It was number one priority. How could we forget?
You know what, Ugo? First thing tomorrow, when we go to the Festival of the Moon, you will go up and ask for blood from the Kaeda herself.
Okay.
What?
We will make the blood loaf.
Yes, we will, dear friend. Yes, we dear.
You seem happy.
Oh, I'm always happy. Are you not happy?
Why are you happy, Cascus?
I'm not. What is this accusation? I'm just happy for once. It has been a very twisting tale, this, and it is good to have some. I don't know, a route out, a next step.
What do you think?
How was your meeting? Was the Kaedar is great in a kind of personal capacity as she is with an audience?
It was enlightening. I do think we will need to have a conversation soon.
About?
Next steps?
No, I think they're quite clear. Everyone, we have a job to do. We signed up to the Adventurers Guild. We have these little things. Other than you, Yarrow, I do not know what you will be doing next. But anyway, we have a pretty clear plan. No, what is the hesitation?
I think we should look after them. Do what we can. I know you don't all agree with me.
For helping them. They seem really nice.
This is very true in the case, but we have a deal. We have made a bargain with the humans. To go back on it would.
It's not going back on it.
I ain't made a deal with no one.
We made a deal to get information. We didn't make a deal to turn our backs on those who have helped us.
No, we made a deal to do what Don Iden tells us to do.
And he told us to get information.
Correct, but I think if we went and did what you're suggesting, that would go way beyond the bounds of what we were asked to do. And besides,
I would
what do we owe these
disagree.
people? We owe these people nothing.
We owe these people our lives. They fought and died for us.
Not me. Not Ugo. Maybe yourself, but that is your own personal, how should we say, your own personal account of things.
And what of Hanera? Would you expect her to turn her back on her brother?
Well, Yanira made a deal like the rest of us. I would hope that she has that she sees that as important.
Look. I'm sorry for what I told you. I really am. I just want you to realize what you're doing. What this is going to turn you into. You can either look after people, help people, at no cost of your own. Or you could be empty.
Do you really think yourself that important? That you alone, or the 6 of us, the 7 of us, could single-handedly turn the tide of what's happening in this war right now?
No. No, I don't think so. But there is an army out there of numerous groups of 6 individuals. Sometimes more, sometimes less. An ocean is not made in mere moments by a flood. It's made over time. We won't solve anything on our own, but we can help move things forward. And besides, wouldn't you consider a trade alliance between the Rodrons and Edrin profitable?
Between you and me, I would see a trade agreement for the Sidon and the humans a much more profitable venture. Conflict is not good for business.
You are a hollow man.
Perhaps, but at least I will be dead. No, I'll be dead. At least I will be alive when the day is done.
You'll die one day.
I'm sure I will, but I intend to live to my fullest until then. Look, this argument is not going anywhere, and the people around us, they got things to do. So I suggest we figure this out on the way back, or something.
Keskis.
Mhm.
I am not so sure if Sidon is more profitable. You
Don't
tell
talk now.
you tell me before. Desperation can be taken advantage of for a good deal.
Yes.
These people, they face extinction. And they have much resource that is untapped. Say then they may have no money, but will they make as good deal?
We will talk about this later.
Okay.
So you arrive back at the boarding house. The night, well, it's sort of about midday. You can do what you want with your day, or nothing, potentially.
I would like to study these potions that we've been given and attempt to be able to craft them again.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I have all of them though, or at least one of them. Who here took No, you won't know what it's called. They won't know what it is, will they? Who had the who out of game had the shiver?
I had some.
Okay. Just so
You
you
got
know, those potions you took, if you let me have one, I can probably make you more. I just need to study it. So if you've got a potion and you'd like to use it again, I'd suggest you hand it over.
I do so.
Lovely.
This could be very handy.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's a very... looks like a very good poison. I'll be sure to give it... I'll be sure to study it closely.
So what level is the shiver again? Is it level 2?
Level 3, I think, looking at the chat.
Okay. So then in that case, the DC for that will be 18. So if you make a crafting check, you'll spend the day.
Okay. I wanted to do the other one that I had as well, or is it just like a once a day thing? I'm going to be able to do this.
It's a downtime activity, so I think it takes a day.
Okay. I might do the bottled lightning instead then.
Yeah.
But I will keep hold of the shiver. Now, so a crafting check. Well, so that's a moderate, so that's level 3, so it's DC 18 still.
Mm-hmm.
Where's crafting? There it is. Ah, ha, ha!
Nice.
Hey.
It becomes a mega potion.
No, so you feel quite confident. Well, you feel very confident as to how it was made. Treat. I'll treat that a natural 20 as that just goes into your alchemist formula book now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can make that at any time. You just need to make sure you have the stuff for it, and that
I
will
thought
take
I thought the mechanic of this is the reagents. The infused reagents means I don't need to have stuff for it.
Well, it depends what it is, because obviously, like, I think Shiver is fine because it doesn't have any like particular materials that you need. But there's some things that have like specific materials that you can't just use reagents for.
This doesn't. I don't think this says any requirements.
No, I'm having a look. It doesn't say anything particularly. So
I'll double check that reagents thing, but yeah.
That should be fine. But like, I know there's some materials, for example, that like need silver, like specific amounts of silver, like that cost a certain amount of gold and stuff.
Okay.
You can't just use your daily alchemical reagents for that. But that because that Shiver doesn't have any like specific things in it, I think that's fine.
So I'll have to learn that tomorrow.
But yeah, so you know how to make what? So what was it you were which one were you doing? The thunderstone.
The bottled lightning.
Oh, sorry, the bottle lightning. Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah. The moderate bottled lightning.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine because that's alchemical. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's got volatile. It's got yeah. That's no problem. Right. So that takes about like sort of 6 or 7 hours to do that.
Does anyone need any healing?
No. Yes.
Okay.
My character sheet says I'm max HP.
Good.
I'm at max HP.
Okay. Is there anything
For a
else
change.
anyone wants to do during this?
Yeah, there
this
is
day?
actually. Can Casca slide like a note underneath Cyan's? I guess we're in like our rooms, right?
Sure.
And it says like, meet me on like the terrace of like the inn we're in or something like that.
Cyan's gonna take it and immediately head over.
Yeah. So you're gonna come out onto the terrace and kind of like, is it moon? Is it like there's a moonlight? Is it we still daytime?
It's coming. I guess if there's nothing else that's happened during the day, then it can come towards evening. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the moon's just kind of like cresting up and kind of moonlight's bathing Cascas as he's kind of looking out over the kind of vista, which is very beautiful. For all its sad finality, it is beautiful.
Doesn't need to be final.
Perhaps. I trust you got my note.
No, I came over alone to this mysterious terrace in the moonlight because I just liked moonlight.
Very well.
No, I got it. I don't know how to do sarcasm properly. I'm sorry.
You learn. I'm a good businessman, and I know that it's bad for business to have discord within your team. He says the word team with a bit of it struggled. And I can see in your heart you want to help these people. I am no monster as much as you think I am on the outside and inside. I do have a reason for what I do. I'm willing to make a deal with you. A compromise.
Okay, let's hear it.
We will go back to Port Hedron, and we will inform Dan Iden that we had seen the Rodrons, but they had no input into any of the assassinations or the death. And we will not implicate the Rodrons in anything. And I know this is bad for business, but I have a job for you to do that would be your half of the compromise.
Okay.
I want you to kill my brother.
You want me to kill your brother?
I do.
Does he look like you?
Sadly not. He, got the looks, unlike me.
Okay.
When I came here with Logo, we were here to expand business. But this land, it is bountiful, it is beautiful. And my family had already assigned this continent to a different part of the business. It was regrettable for me. My brother, the favorite one, he was assigned to be in charge of the charter for this continent. Now, I am brutally obsessed with beating him and the rest of my sisters and brothers. And if you help take him out, then that will leave me in a much better place. Such that I will not mind the odd setback here and there.
So, more compassion going forward for the death of your brother.
He is a monster. If you thought I was bad, he is terrible.
Ascus. Are you sure?
Deadly sure. Those are my conditions. You have as long as you need.
If it helps these people, I'll do it.
He's like walking away, but like pauses for a second, looks to him, need to go, and then leaves.
Okay.
Cyan heads back, kind of breathing very deeply.
All right. What's everyone else doing? Yarrow, what are you getting up to?
I don't know. I was kind of feeling like maybe she'd spend her day maybe trying to subtly investigate if there are any deities or spirits that the elves worship and if any of them look like a fox. But like
Oh,
not in a
sure.
way where she's like really blatantly being like, have you seen a fox around here and it's all glowy and shit, but like just subtly trying to dig out some information.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So there are what's the downtime action for that? That's called it's called something, isn't it? If you make me a Actually, let me just have a look at the activities for 2 seconds.
Sure.
Let's see, Archives of Nethys does have them, but sometimes it's quite hard to remember where on the things it is. Exploration, no, it's here maybe. What I'll say is make me a diplomacy. Well, are you going around asking like the elves around, or are you sort of what? How are you looking it up? Are you trying to like look for sort of written information or?
Assuming that it would be written in Elvish and she can't read Elvish, so I think it'd be more likely she'd be talking.
Sure. Okay, make me a diplomacy check then.
Ooh, not that good at diplomacy, so.
Okay, that's still good. So going around speaking to a number of elves during the day, one of them that you speak to, this sort of elf who seems to be quite a modern Rodran recruit, like having come from the Sidan. This quite young-looking elven woman who is in the process of just like hand washing a whole bunch of like clothes. As you go out to speak to her, she says, "You know, I think a fox. I've heard of people seeing foxes in the woods. There are ancient stories about guardian spirits in Rodrana. There are 4 of them.
Do you know their names?
They go by titles. The one that you are referring to is often known as the Judge in common. In Elvish, it is obviously an Elvish word.
Ah, a judge, eh? Well, I guess that makes sense. Well, it weren't anything to do with Vikshana then. Oh, fair enough. Thank you anyway.
Vikshana, that is the name in Elvish.
Oh, it were. Well, that's very strange. All right. Oh, thank you anyway.
Very well. She sort of like watches as you sort of walk away, quite confused. She's like carries on hand washing her clothes.
She does also have ginger hair and wears like a fox mantle. Is like the head of and feet of a fox. So
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
kind of looks like she's a weird fangirl for whatever this fox spirit is.
Ah,
Like, oh, these foxaboos. Okay. Is it as part of that? You can. So also the information that you can also get is that there's 4 of these spirits. The other 3 names so there's the judge, is the fox, and then there's the shepherd, the defender, and the curator as well. But your check wasn't high enough to really know what they need that much more about them.
Would there be, because she's got high religion, so maybe I could roll this.
Oh, sure.
Just because she's wondering why here it seemed different to at home, like
Yeah.
since a fox spirit didn't show any familiarity or understanding or like
Hmm.
yeah, since it just felt different to in the past. Can she do a little roll to try and work out what's going on?
Yeah, make a religion check. So what you can sort of assume is that it may have been a different fox spirit that was sent by maybe like a it seems that there may be like a whole bunch of different fox spirits that are all part of the same sort of network, or like the same sort of community of fox spirits.
Fox,
There's like there's a whole bunch of different. It did seem different, and this one did seem like it was particularly like not as friendly as the previous one, for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of what she was thinking, because like the one that she knows her back and talks to her and seems more kind of familiar and like connected.
Yeah.
So
So
it wasn't
that's
like, it's not like she's even that surprised, because she's seen other fox like spirits as well, which she assumed the other one had sent to her, and now she's wondering if maybe it's a bit bigger than that, and it's not just that there's this one spirit that sends these visions to her, but maybe a bit more complicated than that.
yeah. I think it's probably safe to assume that Yari just comes to the conclusion that there's a lot more to be learned about it.
Cool. Yeah, she's happy.
Fantastic. Okay.
does when kind of Yarrow's going around and etc. Does because like it's kind of strange, right, that she's just going off on these kind of little adventures, and like I'm assuming is slightly stressed about it or is quite content about it, but like I assume there's some kind of like strange thing going on from our perspective.
Make a sense motive check.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just checking. It's perception. That's 18.
What's your will DC, the Yarrow?
There's the deception DC of the
Your
creature.
deception DC. Yeah. What's your deception modifier?
My deception modifier is just +1.
Okay, so it'd be 11. Yeah. So a cask is. I mean, you definitely sense that Yarrow is up to something strange.
It's like really like this halfling on a mission. Arms pounding.
Asking elves about
Asking elves about strange things.
foxes and stuff.
Cascus is like spinning coins on the table with Hugo maybe. After like being quite annoyed and having a bit of a shouting match about him questioning him earlier. Say, the halfling, Yarrow,
Hmm?
seems to be acting very strange.
I have not known many halflings. Maybe it's just how they act.
No, there's something going on here. He is determined, but slightly scared. I think, why did you go speak to her? You are comforting for her? More so than I am, probably.
Speak about what?
Ah, no matter. Come. We will say hello.
Okay.
Okay, so you go over to Yarrow then, who's I guess just arrived back at the house.
Good afternoon, Yarrow. Good evening.
Good evening. What can I do for you?
Looking around, is there anyone else there?
As of right now, probably no, probably not. Maybe people upstairs.
You seem to be troubled. I know this is a strange place, and you will not be here for long, but do feel free to share your concerns.
No, I like it here. It's great. If I'm honest, I was just asking about their religion. You see, I worship a fox spirit, and I've seen one here, so I just wanted to know if it was the same as mine or if it was a bit different. And I've come to the conclusion it's a little bit different, but that's all.
I'm sorry. Are we all around again, or are we all just upstairs?
If you want to be there, you can be. That's fine.
Cyan just pokes his head around the corner. What fox spirit?
I've got nothing to hide.
Were you talking to the ghost of your dead friend on top of your head?
Oh, goodness, not scared.
This is not my dead friend. I found this just as it were.
Yarrow, it's scaremongering, but is everything okay? Are you just simply inquiring? You seem to have gone quite a few times.
It's very important to me. She points to the fox skin that she wears as a head. Look, it's part of me worship, you see.
You worship foxes?
Well, I suppose all animals and nature as a whole. Foxes are just like they like represent it, I suppose. It's a bit of a long story, but my spirit or I don't know what to call it even. I haven't really talked about her that much, and I tried speaking to her to my parents, and they just thought I was a bit mad. I guess she's like my guardian or my guide, but she's a fox.
So you see something that other people can't see?
I don't know if anyone else can see her. That's kind of a good question, really. I assumed that other people could see her, but maybe they can't. That would explain a lot.
Yeah, is she here now?
Oh no, I don't see her that often. Yeah, less than once a moon. sometimes 3 or 4 moons pass and I hear nothing from her, but I can feel her often, especially when I do magic.
That's very interesting.
Have you never met anyone that worships the divine before, or any spirits? Am I really the first?
No, I worship a few. Or, well, think of a few. I don't know my relationship with things. It's weird.
Can I do like a not sense motive? I guess it'd be sense motive again, but just like, does it feel like Yara's telling us the whole story here so far?
Do a sense
is
motive
that-
check. Yeah. Perception. Versus deception DC.
That was a real bad roll. You'll sky that.
Yeah, no, you don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope you've learned what you need to here. I imagine the elders are probably quite useful to speak to about this.
I've learned everything that I could do, I suppose. It's just something to keep an eye on, I suppose. But thanks for checking in with me.
That's okay. And while we are all here together, what are your plans after this? I assume you want to go back to your family at home. Your brothers must be worried sick.
I hadn't really thought that hard. I'm quite enjoying being out on the road, but also, I'm not going to be where I'm not welcome.
Well, your skills are impressive. I will give you that. You would always have a place in my employ if you so desired.
Look, I've lived at home all my life. Like it's nice to be out. I know that most halflings prefer to be at home, but I've always been a bit different. I mean, as surely you knew from me saying about I can see a fox that no one else can see.
If you can continue to keep Ugo awake while trying to fight things, then all is welcome with me.
I think your company would be much appreciated.
I'm good at healing on the spot, and I can use herbs as well. And I do know a lot about nature. And I can even summon a little fox as well. I haven't done that trick yet, but
Is
at
this
some
like
point I'll show you.
is this like the herb that Keskis sells? You'd sell to some friends. You pass it around. You tell me to go watch door, cause.
I mean, why not, my friend? Why bloody not?
The door. There's a knock on the door.
Come in.
Hello?
Opening the door is Simeon, carrying a whole bunch of different jugs. Almost like dropping them. It's like he's just like almost he's having a lot of trouble keeping them in the air as he sort of stumbles over to the table and just like splays them down. Manages to just about keep all the drops of sort of purple liquid in them. And he says, "Wine. I bought some wine." You can tell he's quite drunk.
Okay.
Ooh, wine.
He sits down and says, yeah, it's good wine."
You doing okay?
Good. Yep.
Do you need to lie down?
No. No. Where's my sister? There you are, sister.
Hello.
Yes. You'll be going soon. I thought I would bring some wine.
Well, thank you. It's greatly appreciated.
And I am now officially off duties for 2 weeks.
Oh, so you'll be drinking a lot of wine then?
That's what I'm celebrating. He's like sort of lifts up a jug and says, "Oh, cups. I need cups." He just starts
Sure, there's
drinking out.
cups here.
He just starts drinking out of one of the jugs.
Is this not cup?
Come, Ugo. He like pushes one of the jugs over to you. Now tell me that isn't the best wine that you've ever had.
It's not high bar. Wine does not taste so good.
If I may, I'm probably more of a wine consumer than him, so I'll be the judge.
There's enough for all of you.
I mean, if there
Come,
is
sit
no,
down.
if there's no alternative, then of course, but it's no ale. And he
Nope.
starts chugging it like he would ale.
Make a constitution. Make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tasty. It's quite strong. Like it's got it's very sweet. This sort of elven wine is very, very sweet, and it's almost quite sickly to drink a lot of it. And after a couple of moments, you're like, why is it that I feel kind of funny? And then you start burping and hiccuping, and like bubbles start coming out your mouth. The sort of sparkle.
Yeah. Wine is very strange. More you drink, thirstier you are.
Yeah,
Does
that's
not...
the best bit. Here, have some more. Go on. Simeon pushes over one of the jugs.
Maybe more will make me less thirsty.
Have you guys ever played a game called Adira?
What's Adira?
Cyan, you confuse me more and more every time I see you.
I'm a very confusing person.
Yeah. Well,
I have no idea what you are talking about.
Lord.
he sort of reaches into his bag.
Guns.
He sort of reaches into his bag and brings out a sort of chessboard. And begins putting basically like it's like a chessboard with a bunch of it's like almost like checkers. It's just got loads of checkers type pieces on it, and he sets up a board and says it's a game of strategy that we play in Elfland.
Have I played it
That's what
before?
elves do when they're drunk.
Not just when we're drunk, we actually are quite good at it usually.
Us Haffins, we're much more likely to play things like Truth or Dare or Have You Ever when we're
Truth or
drunk.
Dare sounds fun.
Oh, I've never played that.
I've played Truth or Dare before. Truth or Dare's fun.
Yes, you have played Adira, probably, Hanera.
Okay.
It's quite a simple game, but you know from your time growing up that there's a lot of elves who spend a lot of time practicing it and getting very good at it. And you know, if you're not really interested in it, it's very easy to get your ass completely stomped by people. Like your brother is much more interested in it than I assume you were. However, Simeon says, "All right then, you start, halfling. Truth or dare?"
Go on, dare me.
I dare you to play a game of Adira with me.
Look, I don't know why you'd want to play me. I'm not going to be any good. I've never played before, and I've never really played games. Not that sort
I
of
think that's
game.
why he
Not a
wants to
board
play
game.
against you.
All right, fine.
I can if you really want to, but you'll probably just beat me so quickly it's a bit pointless.
Does anyone have a dare for the halfling?
Drink the whole mug. Drink the whole jug.
I was under the assumption that you drink if you can't do it.
Oh.
It'd be quite cruel to to make someone drink as a dare as well.
It's been said now, and I think Yari's just kind of like taking it in her stride and being like, "Well, all right then."
All right,
I
go
feel
on.
like she was already like halfway through as he was explaining how cruel it is.
She's like
Glug, glug,
halfway
glug,
through the drag as people are wondering whether that's a good idea. All right. I feel like this is definitely going to be some sort of save.
Yeah, fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude, okay. Right. Come on, Yarrow.
Oh.
Natural 20. This is the halfling spirit. This is the halfling spirit we love to see. Yeah, Yarrow, you just power it through.
She loves the party.
Simeon's eyes widen in shock as he watches you just down this whole jug of elven wine. But yeah, your stomach does feel a bit churny, and you do burp, and like again, some bubbles, like sparkling bubbles, just sort of filter out your mouth.
I mean, mead is in my last name, you know. Merry Mead. What do you think my parents do?
They're very happy when they're drunk.
Very happy when they're making mead.
Oh, okay.
All right, well then, Yarrow, you get to nominate someone, I think, for Truth or Dare.
Cascus, truth or dare?
Oh, I do not play these games. I am...
Oh, come on, Cassius.
Well,
Don't be a
Oh,
spoil
Oh,
sport.
no, I could not. And truth.
It's a good question, Truth. What would I ask you? Why do you have those horns? Sorry, I am a bit ignorant. I haven't really left home much.
Good question.
Seems like a rude question to ask normally, but you know we're playing a game now, so.
Yeah.
You know, when your parents they consummate their love for one another.
Yes.
And then after some time, a little creature pops out. In your case, in your brother's cases, they came out looking like your mother and father. In my case, I just did not. I do not know why I am the way I am.
That must have really hurt your mum. Jesus.
Were you born with horns? Simeon says.
I do not entirely remember. You see, I never really asked my parents about it. I would rather not talk too much about the detail, if you do not mind. But let's just say they never really told me much about it.
Oh. Oh, well.
There were 7 or 8 other brothers, and they were incredibly busy with their time, and you know, they had a business to run, so they were just busy.
Oh.
You see, Cascus, like that's a soft spot.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Simeon sort of notices. Well, you can nominate someone if you want.
Fine. Hinira.
Truth.
Very well, very well. You seem quite mysterious. You speak less. You seem demure in your approach to the way to the world. What are you doing here? What brought you to put our run into here? I do not understand your motive.
Well, a lot of reasons. My father died and I was finally free to do what I wanted, and I decided to travel.
Anything specifically to travel? The freedom is, I'm sure, liberating. But,
Well, I just wanted to live my life. Be free.
Same. Simeon says. Yeah, it runs in the family, doesn't it, Hinira?
Yeah, it's really hard. Although, I mean, I did obviously have a lot of things, material things, but it's quite a hard life when you're not allowed to leave the grounds where you grew up. And you have to do everything that your father tells you. He controlled everything. What I wore, what I learned at school, what I ate. And then he died, and my mother took over the house, and then I was able to go and see the world.
you know, you and I are not too different. We had quite similar childhoods. I'm sorry you did not get to escape sooner.
Yeah. Only 100 years or so, wasn't it, Hinira?
Yeah.
Great stuff. All right, your turn, Hanira.
Henning.
Dare.
Do a backflip.
I've never tried, but what the hell? Sure.
Oh god, make me an acrobatics check then. Have you had any of this elven alcohol?
I think he's had like a glass.
All right, make me a fortitude saving throw as well.
Fortitude. Front. Fortitude.
Oh, everyone's doing well on these. All right. All right, make me an acrobatics check then.
Sure.
Jump, 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 jump. So, what? Balancing yourself on a stool or against the table? Everyone stands around.
All right,
Jump,
everyone,
jump,
stand
jump,
back.
Jump.
Here I go. Ah!
And you jump in the air. You tuck, and yeah, you land it. Yeah.
Hey!
Just takes a bow in front of everyone.
Something about elven wine, everyone. It is known for its elven qualities. Yeah.
Wow. I would never have guessed this elven wine would have elven qualities.
Well, there you go.
What does that mean exactly? Does that mean we will all become elves?
Yeah, that's it. Ugo, you're all gonna be
I'm gonna
elves.
be taller. Woo, that's
Yeah,
pretty
you're-
exciting.
I think that might just be the drunkenness getting to you.
Gonna get look, Ugo, your ears. he points to your ears.
He just like starts grabbing his. Have they always been like this? They feel pointier. The guess is, are they pointier?
Yeah, very much so. Though.
He's transforming. All
My
right.
secret plot to have everyone become elves.
Yeah, that's it. Well done, Henning. Wow, I've never seen such a sickly man do a backflip before.
Sickly. Sure, you got sickly from.
Sickly looking. I'm sorry.
Again, don't know where you got that from.
I think he's peak physical form.
As you can see, I just did a backflip, having never even attempted a backflip before.
Seems healthier than a lot of the other humans I've seen.
True. Well, maybe it's just humans and that. All right, Henning, you get to nominate someone then.
Who hasn't gone yet?
Ugo and
Ugo.
Simeon.
Sticks his arm up.
Ugo and Simeon, yeah.
I'm going to say Ugo.
Which would you like?
Dare.
Okay.
Henning grabs the chair next to him and hands it to Ugo. Smash this chair.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Not this again.
He just yeets it across the room.
Yes.
I thought we had got past.
For context, there was Phaedra in the last campaign. There was this room, and it was in our fort, castle, whatever you want to call it, manor home, and there was just chairs being broken by Richard. No, it wasn't.
No, it was
Richard,
by
it
Alex.
Roxanne.
It was
by Alex.
Roxanne.
No, it was-
Smash.
it was-
It just one of the very
Yeah.
last things Roxanne did at the end of that campaign was smash a chair before leaving.
It happened constantly throughout the whole campaign. Like, just about 40 chairs probably.
Why?
There's an industry that's popped up around Erstalwalt around making chairs.
Fuck chairs!
That's great.
The local chair maker was like fucking rolling in
I
it.
think he nearly threw Shunnock at one point because there was
Yeah.
no chair to throw.
Oh yeah, you broke all the chairs and you were trying to throw other people.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, the chair gets broken. Timmy says, "Hey, that's elven property."
Oh, it's okay. I can fix it. Just
Oh,
like
did you
starts.
put it not a good look for us.
It was.
Go
I
around
have.
taking chairs when somebody tells. Oh,
I
He has
have.
to do it.
I have
told
no
him to.
choice. I thought this is game. Someone tell you to do something, you have to do it.
Cask is thinking about the entirety of their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds familiar.
I already agree. Where does this go?
He's what? Are you just holding the various pieces of broken
Yeah, just sort
chair?
of trying to like push them back together.
Oh, it's all right, Ugo. It's all right. There's always a bit of damaged goods after drinking. Right. Well, that's probably a good sign to get a bit
You
sobered
haven't
up.
had your turn.
Yeah.
Yes, Simeon. I dare you.
I haven't
Wait.
chosen I haven't chosen gay yet. Truth, I guess.
Hmm.
Oh God, I've broken him.
This is the most
What
dangerous.
would
Steam just starts
good
coming out of his ears.
truth be? I have dare in head, but not truth. I did not account for this.
That's a big word for Ugo.
10 intelligence, everyone.
Who? Do you have favorite person? And if so, who is it?
Favorite person, as in
Yes.
what? Family.
Could be.
Uh,
Does not have to be.
favorite person. Oh well, I'll say Hanera.
Yes.
Well, you
If I
say you
could talk to
say,
them-
Hanira.
I'll say Hanera for political reasons.
if I could tell them, I'd totally tell Alora and Cecilia about this.
Yes. Well, if you do see them, don't tell them that.
Unless we play this game again, then who knows?
It's the thing about having a big family that you get asked those questions all the time, and you never know what to say because it's always going to offend someone. But Hanera is the baby of the family, so I feel most responsible for her. Now that father's gone. He looks down at his drink. He says, "Right, well, more drink." He just like starts drinking. Should we take a break then?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's come back in 15 minutes. Yeah.
All right. Take a break.
Right.
See you in a bit.
Hello. Hello.
Yo.
Welcome back. So just before the break, you saw the Kayadar. You just had a bit of fun, truth or dare, and the night continued on. Henning, as the night progresses, you feel at the pit of your stomach the alcohol you're drinking is not actually affecting you. Everyone else is getting progressively more and more drunk. Meanwhile, you're as sober as a bone.
Incredible.
Nice.
Yeah.
The most soberest of things.
Yes. Okay. So eventually, Simeon, your friends that you've been teamed up with are all passed out around the table. It's the middle of the night. What do you want to do? Henning, are you
Alex?
Oh, sorry. I've muted myself.
there? Okay, it's fine.
Sorry, I forgot how to speak. Right. Just gonna quietly sort of talk to myself, fans. You there?
Yes. You hear like a
Ah.
rumbling voice in the back of your head.
When are the guards changing over next?
You have time if you start walking now.
Okay. I'll make my way over. Yeah, so I'll start making my
are you bringing all your things with you?
I'm just bringing 2 alchemist fire potions with me.
Sure.
Or alchemist bombs, whatever you want to call
Fine. As you have a look out into the main street, again, everyone has gone to bed. The sun has gone down, and the moonlight is sort of streaming in through the various tree root openings in the tree. There doesn't seem to be anyone in the streets. You seem to be able to walk around of your own volition.
Okay, I'll start making my way over to where the prisoners are being kept. Assuming
Sure.
I know where that is.
Yeah. So, so after the first day, they were moved into a sort of upper like tree sort of house complex just to keep them secure. So it's just on the outskirts of the city. Still underneath the tree, but you see like there's a sort of grove of trees there that have had like buildings made into them, and there's sort of like walkways and planks and rope bridges that goes between each one. And as you're sort of like sneaking through the brush, can you make me a stealth check? Actually, let me make a stealth. If you make it, no, so you make a stealth check, but make sure it's hidden to just GM.
Okay. Stealth. There it is. So click it. Private GM role.
That's the one. Yeah. Cool. So as you're sneaking through the like brushes on the outskirts of the area, this is what you. Where are we? Actually, I just need to find out what it's called. Oh yeah, here we are. Activate. So this is what you. Oh, hang on. You can't see this, can you?
What the screen? I can see what's on the screen. Yeah.
Oh, you can see what's on the screen.
Yeah. Elven prison.
Yeah. You can see the area thing around then.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you're sort of like over here sneaking your way through the brush, you see a couple of elves just standing guard in the center of this little complex.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're watching, you watch as one of them goes up to the other one. They sort of talk to each other, and then they go, "They'll be here in a minute. Let's go." And they begin to just walk off down here.
Now's the time. So I guess I'll just make my way over, like making sure, like watching to see if there's any movement around.
All right, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Is this public roll, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah,
You don't see any guards or anyone watching you, particularly. But yeah, you feel like it's empty enough.
okay. I'll make my way over then.
You've also got Vance sort of like guiding you. It's like, now,
Yeah.
let's go. So all right, so you run over,
Mhm.
and so you find yourself in a sort of like lower area where there's this fountain in the center of the complex. There's a number of like wooden steps that lead up to the houses themselves. They're almost like ladders. They're quite steep, and each of these houses have wooden like rope bridges that sort of swing across between them all. You hear talking and laughing, and you hear sort of like the sounds of people living inside these buildings. They're speaking in Elven, so you can't quite make out what they're saying. But you're pretty confident that this is where they're being kept.
Have they spotted me?
No, there's not really anyone looking out in any windows. You see, like, they are. You smell sort of like fresh bread, and you smell like sort of like them chatting and laughing and drinking. Like, it seems that they're having a fair, like they're not like locked up in prison. They're being well treated.
Okay. So should we just let them out? What should I do? That was a question to Vance.
Yeah, Vance says, try one of the doors. See if it opens.
Okay, I'm just gonna go and try and open one of the doors.
Which one are you going to?
Oh, I don't know how to ping on here. Just the one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see my mouse, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, just this one.
All right. So as you sort of go up the ladder and you try the door handle, it's locked. And as you turn it, you hear like the people talking inside. Be quiet, and they start whispering amongst each other.
Where's the key? Do you know where the key would be?
I don't know. I assume the guards have it.
Well, that's not very helpful, is it? I mean, do we have to let them out in order to blame them for this?
No.
What? Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
You see like a little spark of fire just harmlessly float over to one of the windows that's open. As you see one of the elf guards sort of not the elf guards, the elves prisoners and the Sidan prisoners, sort of like one of them pokes their head through the window, and it's just by you.
Is this whole place like surrounded by there's wood everywhere? Like if you threw something in there, it's gonna go up.
Yeah, it's all made of wood.
Like the whole
Like-
plate, like the whole tree is probably gonna.
Yeah,
be in
and
trouble.
the guy, the Sidan sort of like guy sticks his head out the window and starts saying something in Elven. He's like shouting at you.
Henning just kind of gives a little smirk and starts pulling a alchemist fire out of his pocket.
The Sidan soldier is like, huh?
And he throws it in.
All right, make a attack with it.
Okay. So I have to draw it first, and then.
Oh yeah, that'll do. So as the guy sticks his head out and starts shouting at you, you just throw the alchemist fire like right in his face, and it just explodes and begins to set his hair on fire. He stumbles back into the building and he vanishes from your sight, but you begin to hear shouting come from within as flames start spreading.
Okay. I'm just going to run back to the center here and then just throw another one at a building, like any of them.
Sure.
Probably like this one over here, just to
Yeah,
get
okay.
a nice spread.
All right, make another attack for me.
Uh, yeah, 13.
Okay, it misses the window, but it does shatter on the outside of the
Yeah.
building. So
Yeah,
it's
he
sort
was
of-
just aiming for he was just aiming to set
Yeah,
something on
exactly.
fire.
So now that this fire is spreading, and you hear banging on the doors as the Sidan prisoners are trying to get out,
But the doors are locked. One of them, like because the way he stuck his head out the window, there was sort of like almost wooden bars on it. They start to like push at the bars, and one of them kicks one of the bars through and like jumps out the tree and just like lands on the ground and like just his legs shatter as it hits the ground because it's like 30 feet drop or something.
Henning's just gonna get out of there now.
Yeah, so you're just gonna leg it.
Just gonna leg it back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you leg it, you begin to hear from the back a few people running down this street. Make another stealth check for me. But yeah, make it private.
Burn, baby, burn.
It's going venom.
Blind GM roll. I think
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. As you like duck into the brush, you hear an arrow just like whiz past your head. Zoom. But you manage to duck into the brush as you watch as the two. You have been spotted, but it's obviously dark in the middle of the night, and like you were quite far away from them, so they're not sure. You're not sure whether you will have been recognized. Right. So now you're going to head to the main tree now.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you sort of are beginning to sneak your way down towards the main tree, you see in the distance behind you like a large orange glow and smoke rising into the air. And you calmly walk past a number of guards, Rodran guards who pass you in the street, and are like running towards the buildings that are on fire, carrying like pails of water and all that stuff. Until you get to the main sort of ladder that goes up to the upper level. Like you have a choice. You can either take the lift or you can climb up the ladder, which is a bit more stealthy.
Probably climb up the ladder to avoid any one on that might be using it to get down.
Yeah, sure. And it's a good decision because as you sort of go over to the ladder, the trapdoor above to the upper level opens, and then like a lift begins to come down with like 3 or 4 Rodran guards on it. You also notice the Kayadar standing amongst them. And as you're sort of hidden away, as it lands, they rush off towards the building as the Kayadar also rushes off. And you begin to climb up.
So yeah, just climb up and make my way to the main room.
So as you are having a look around, there doesn't seem to be any guards around here. They all seem to have gone with the Kayadar to it. So are you entering? Are you going to enter the way that you know that like is her quarters?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go into the throne room. Very stealthily. You see around you, all those little like vegetable creatures that were on the around the place. They're all like sleeping, and they're all chirping in their sleep. They go. Make another stealth check for me. As you like sneak up to the Kayadar's door, like you step on something and there's like a crack, and you see some of them like begin to stir and chirp. You hear in your voice saying, "Be careful now. We're almost there."
Okay, I'm trying to be careful.
Vance, you see Vance appear before you, in his non-fiery self. Quick, I'll keep them quiet. And he waves his hand as like this arcane magical spell shoots out, and all the ones that are about to awake just like get pacified again. In there, it's in the pool. It's hidden. Reach in.
Okay, reach in for it.
So as you go into her room, you notice you didn't see this earlier, but obviously there's this like 4-poster bed. There's this fountain of blood in the corner, which is what Vance is referring to.
God, what is this? Vance, what is this?
Ah, you wouldn't like it if I told you. Go on, reach in.
Fine. Let's reach in.
As you reach deeper and deeper, it feels funny. It doesn't necessarily feel like you're putting your hand into a pool of blood. It kind of feels like you're putting your hand into a very cool room. Like you don't feel the blood on your arm. It almost feels like a portal to a different realm or something. So as you're reaching through it, you feel something brush against your hand. Feels like some sort of like hand or someone like just like very slowly stroking your fingers as you sort of reach deeper and deeper in. As it gets to about your elbow, you begin to feel something tough. It feels like a scroll.
Try to grab it.
Okay, you grab it, you pull it out. As you begin to pull it out, you feel the hands that were stroking you begin to all grip on. Make me an athletics check.
Doodle-dee-dee-dee. Athletics. Not my strongest suit.
Okay. Well, with Vance's help, you manage to strain against it. You feel all these hands pulling you, and as you do, you feel like almost like voices in your head, all sort of screaming and shouting, and as you're pulling against the water, as the blood, as you're like pulling your hand out the blood, it's almost like a big elasticated. It's almost like trying to push your hand through some sort of rubber sheath. It's like it almost stretches out of the pool as you're pulling this thing out, but eventually it releases and it just goes back to normal. As you've got this sort of extremely old scroll in your hand, which is like wrapped with like red ribbons.
Is this what we were looking for?
Yes.
Perfect.
Let's
And he'll
get
stuffs
elsewhere.
into his coat pocket, and then starts making his way out.
Cool. You notice that you've got like a few cuts on your hands. Your blood has like almost. Well, it's funny. You have cuts on your hands, but you notice that you're not actually bleeding from them. It's almost like your blood isn't like pumping. Strangely. As you look at that. But anyway, Vance guides you out of the building, and you manage to make your way back down the lift by the time you see the Kayadar return. But she doesn't notice you.
Okay. I'm going to try and make my way back to bed, basically, now.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, so with everything that's going on in the distance, no one stops you at all. It's just absolutely carnage. Like you hear shouting and you hear all this stuff. But when you return, everyone is still passed out from all the alcohol.
I'm going to go to my bed.
And you get into bed, and the next night comes. Right. So the morning of the 41st day of spring arrives.
Can
all
I just...
of you feel...
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
So just before we start, I want to make a point that I'm not preparing any potions for the next morning.
That's okay. That's fine.
So, okay.
So the morning comes. You all feel a bit worse for wear, except for Henning.
I feel like a dragon puked in my head.
Simeon gets up and he looks quite sprightly, actually. He says, "Elf wine. Ah, yes. It doesn't last that long. You get used to the hangover."
I sure fucking hope so.
Good thing I have no intention of repeating this terrible mistake. As he kind of creaks up and is nursing a headache. You know, the classic one where you stand up too quickly.
I thought you liked wine, Cascus.
Oh, I do love wine, but the selfish stuff is something else.
Well, how was all your nights then? Simeon says.
fun?
No, clever night. I remember I was dancing and singing, and Ugo was doing a handstand with one arm. And
I thought I'm sure I saw several different versions of Cascus arguing with each other.
yeah, the possibility.
Did
Well, elven wine will do that for you.
I am not sure if it is dream or if it happened, but did I throw Yarrow onto roof?
Yeah, you did. You did. That was fun.
I should go check if she is still there. Ugo's gonna walk out and go sort of walk around the building, check the roof.
No, Yarrow's all happily in bed. As you walk out looking for her, Yarrow comes down, and again, halflings managed to get away with not having as bad hangovers, luckily. However, there is a knock on the door. So Ugo, as you close the door behind you, you see 3 or 4 Rodrin guards stood outside, and High Lord Nace says, "Inside now."
Sure. Could you speak slightly more quietly?
Get inside.
Oh,
A few of the guards barge the door open and go in.
Okay.
Simeon stands up and says, "What is the meaning of this?" And High Lord Nace, who's this? He seems like probably about a middle-aged elf, long hair. He's got sort of 2 almost antlers horn, like a hat basically that has horns on it.
Headdress.
Headdress, that's the one. And he says, "I'm not sure how or why, but there was a fire last night. The Sidon prisoners, they were burnt alive."
Whoa! Oh my god!
Ooh.
But you're not allowed to do fire here.
That's awful.
No.
God.
So we are looking for the people responsible, and naturally that has the suspicion has befallen onto all of you. And Simeon says, "Well, hold on. I was here with them all night. I would know if they'd gone anywhere." And High Lord Nace says, "You're going to vouch for them then?" And Simeon says, Yes, I will. These are my friends. They did not do this. I'm not sure who else did it. Maybe someone who hates the Sidon, but these people did not do that."
What about the prisoners? Are they accounted for? Maybe one escaped and took revenge?
Most are dead, unfortunately. We have about 3 or 4 survivors.
How big was this blaze? Kind of Cascus goes to a window to look out.
You can see the smoke setting. The fire had actually spread to the whole grove.
Grove?
The grove is a sort of wooded area underneath a big tree. It's like normal sized trees mostly. So it did spread a lot from there. But High Lord Nace says, luckily we managed to make it so it didn't spread to the tree of Sethel itself. It took a good few hours of work. We've never had anything like this happen here before. And one of the other elves says, "Yes, and it only happens after they arrive."
Well, now. Can I make an impression on them, please?
Yep, go ahead, make a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy check. No, 14.
That's probably a failure. So it doesn't change anything, I don't think.
Okay.
They're pretty suspicious of you.
You have no reason to suspect us. This is just coincidence, not causality.
Did the Kaidar send you over?
I am responsible for the law and order of Sethel. I will make the decisions here. The Kaidar does not give me orders.
Kaidar sees a lot. How can you be certain that she might not know who does this?
if you are so certain on the rule of on justice, then what is your evidence? I am a keen investigator myself. I would be interested to hear what your assessment is.
One of our hunters saw someone escaping the scene of the crime.
Okay, and
He was not wearing clothes like ours.
Maybe it was a disguise.
was it dark at the time? Are you totally sure that it was it is what you say it is?
Are you saying that you were all here all night last night?
I
Yeah.
was.
Of course.
Drunk out of my mind. Some would say drunker than a Pandorian skunk.
After a third drug,
Territory.
not so sure, but
Simeon says, High Lord Nace, as kin, take my word. And High Lord Nace says, very well. We are family after all. Well, Simeon says, we were drinking a lot of elven wine last night. There is no way any of them would have been able to do such a thing. They were. I witnessed it, their drunkenness all with my own eyes. And High Lord Nace says, very well. Damn it, Simeon. Come with me. The rest of you stay here. Do not move. We have some. We clearly have an intruder in the city. He barges out, and Simeon says, "Sorry, Hanira, I forgot to tell you. High Lord Nace is he's a second cousin of ours. He's family of our mother. He's who took me in here when I first came. Anyway, I've got to go. I'll be back. Be safe, all of you. Do not let anyone in who you do not know."
Thank you, Simeon.
He rushes out.
what if intruder is assassin in yellow? Come to finish
Possibly.
job.
I do not think the assassin in yellow would be so discreet with his methods. We
The
know what
assassin in yellow was after Shade Steel. They've lost their Shade Steel. I don't think he would be coming.
They have lost one shade steel. What if they have more?
Oh,
I
they
do
said
not-
they don't have more.
I think they would not be this clumsy. A fire that is. I'd maybe. It does not strike me as his style.
I mean, we don't really know much about him. Could have been a distraction.
No, but I did a. What was it? No, I'm basing all my knowledge on that one. What was it? Gather information. What's the thing you call it?
Sense motive?
Knowledge check. Like during combat.
Recall
you can
knowledge.
Recall.
yeah.
It all on the one recall knowledge check. It is. It strikes me as a creature that is quite capable of getting what he wants. A fire. It is messy. It is. It was a I do not know what it was.
Maybe it was a botched escape attempt.
But they
Maybe we
maybe
could
they
also
try
do
to burn their way out.
Perhaps.
Or maybe the fire was intended as a distraction, but they slipped out the other way. Something went wrong.
It is curious that two incidents occur that would strike such suspicion among the elves in the case of 24 hours. First, this random seeming death, and now this.
Perhaps they are connected.
Maybe we are just unlucky.
Maybe they're unlucky.
Make my senses twitch. I want to. No. It would do us well to leave this place as soon as possible. I do worry that the longer we are here,
The more we may get blamed for.
Yes, as much as I love it here and as beautiful a city as it is, I do wish to leave as soon as possible. I think we're causing too much trouble. Well,
Though, would it be even more suspicious if we leave and then things stop happening?
No, we just keep very quiet. We make our moves very clear for the next day and a half until this Festival of the Moon is done. We keep to ourselves. We do nothing out the ordinary, and then we go back to Port Edron. Yarrow, you are more than welcome to join.
Well,
I still,
I've got nothing better to do, so I think I will, for now at least.
I think if we can convince the Kayada, she'll be able to help here.
I don't think the Kayadar cares all too much. It sounds like justice is not her purview, and to be honest, she said her view on things yesterday. She likes to see the best in people. She has no solid evidence with us, so she will probably maintain that posture. She will believe the words of Simeon.
I agree.
Wouldn't-
Well, as much as I hate to say it, I agree with Cascas. We keep our heads low the next couple days, and then we leave. I think it's the most sensible thing we can do.
Okay, fine. Don't like this.
Are we still going to maybe try break deal?
I don't think we can right now. We're not allowed to leave.
Well, maybe not right now, but before we leave.
Not quite sure what deal you hope to broker with these people.
Keskis?
They clearly have no want for money. And,
They,
well, that's what you want.
they have want for power, though, to defend.
I suppose. You have to convince them of that, though.
I am not.
I think Cascus can be quite convincing, Cyan says through gritted teeth.
Perhaps, but I've decided to keep my nose out of this one. As we discussed. Kind of looks at Cyan.
Okay.
All right, so as just waiting there for a few hours, eventually there's a knock on the door, and it's Simeon once again. He comes in with a few bags of things, and he says, "You've got to pack your bags. It's time. I think it's time for you all to start going."
But we did not have time to make blood bread.
Dad.
Blood loaf.
Ugo?
Ugo,
Can we get one to go?
He turns to you, Hanera, and says, "I'm so sorry, sister, but I have to sneak you out of here. High Lord Nace he's looking for revenge."
Eh.
The Kayadar is keeping him busy in meetings, but ultimately she has no power over him. He was elected as our High Lord when he came here. I'm sorry. Take this food. Like, take whatever food you can. I've got some bread here for you all. I will take you to the portal in a few minutes. Get your things. Go. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Then.
Okay.
As you're packing your things, Simeon sits down just with his head in his hands. He says, "Why did this have to happen tonight? It was you are our only chance, Hanera. You all were our only chance to fix this. And now, I don't think it's going to be possible." But the coincidence is too strong, and High Lord Nace thinks that you're all somehow responsible for it. So it's time to go.
Okay.
Has everyone got all their stuff together then?
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
pack up my things.
Yes.
Okay. Simeon leads you all behind him. He says, "Follow me. Do not stop." and he gets you to he starts walking you away from the city. As he gets to the town gates, a few of the guards on the town gates say, "Oh, hi, Simeon. Aren't you on leave?" And he says, "Yes, I just need to show them something. I'll be back in a bit. We'll all be back in a bit." And they sort of go, "Okay, fine," and open the gate as he sneaks you all out. As the gate shut behind, you see a few elves running behind, shouting something. As Simeon sort of like grabs you, like begins to shepherd you all down the path, and he's like, "Oh, come on, let's go, go."
What happened to you?
Don't think about me. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for Hanira and the rest
Can
of
I
you.
ever come back and see you?
I don't know, Hanira. He takes you as he's running down the
Simeon,
path.
it feels very strange that you're not going to come with us.
The gates open up, and you see a few Rodran hunters like rushing out after you all. And Simeon says, "Run, Hanira! You know how to open the portal, don't you?
Okay.
Take this."
Okay.
And he throws you the dagger. He gives you a hug, and says, "Now go! I'll hold them off."
Thank you, Simeon. Let's go.
You as you're running away, you see as Simeon draws a sword and says to them, "I will not let you pass. That is my sister that you mean to hurt." Hanira, are you looking back, or are you just running forward?
I'm just running. Actually, I'll probably look back.
Okay, yeah, you see a few of the guards like approach Simeon, and Simeon raises his sword ready to fight them. But then like you like sort of just descend down a bit of a hill, so you can't quite tell. You hear like the clashing of swords, and like yelling behind you. Until you get up to the portal, you have the knife in your hand.
I whack it out and cut my hand.
Okay, and you put your hand against the ancient stones, and this oily black substance arrives. Do you all walk through it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So one by one, you all run through. Hanira, the last one, you hear the sort of fading sounds of violence in the distance. You're not quite sure what's going on. As you step through the portal. Zoom. You all arrive. It's not where you were before. This is a different part of the woods. There's a different way out. It's certainly not where you came through in the first place. It's not that part of the Camnor woods that you remember. There's this sort of like fog that's descended on the area.
Oh no.
With Curse of Strahd is what you're thinking, right?
No, I'm thinking what happened the last time some fog descended on us.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There's it's a sort of a lingering fog here, everywhere around, and there's a sort of like in the distance you hear the like chirping of insects. There's like a bit of rain in the air. You have no idea where you are, absolutely none. You know you're in a forest.
Can I
Well-
climb a tree and try and get a better view, see if I can see any?
Yeah, make a athletics check, I guess.
Can I help Hanera up the tree?
Yeah, that's fine.
I know how to. I have because I'm a wood
Make
elf.
an aid check, Ugo.
Because I'm a wood elf, I am better at climbing trees. I don't know what this gives me, but when climbing. Wait, hold on. Let me read it. You're adapted to life in the forest and the deep jungle, and you know how to climb trees and use foliage to your advantage. Does that make a difference?
Sure, yeah, you can have a +2 on that, and then Ugo's going to aid you as well.
So is that a what would I need for that? Would it be
So,
like athletics to kind of?
You need to attempt a skill
boost
check or
or-
attack. Yes, you need to do a skill check as well. So you need to do athletics as well, and you need to be a DC of. It's the typical DC is 20, but I'll say it's 15 for this one.
Yeah.
23.
Oh, cool, nice. Yeah, that's fine. So that's a. Yeah. All right, so you definitely passed that. No. So climb up to the top of the tree. There is a. It's funny. it should by all accounts be morning here. You've just gotten up. Well, it should be about coming to midday. And yet, it almost feels like it's late evening. Like there's this sort of orange glow in the sky. You can't see the sun anywhere. It must be behind the horizon somehow, or behind a mountain or something. It's enough to sort of give you a bit of dim light. You can have a look around, but you see trees for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles.
Do I not see any hills or anything?
You see hills, you see mountains in the distance, but the lack of stars and sun in the sky makes it very hard to tell, like, what direction's what.
If you don't know what's east and west, is there any way to tell between sunrise and sunset?
No.
And I guess
Like
unless you
cloudy,
wait a
right,
bit.
then? So there's no shadows or anything, right?
There's clouds in the sky, but like the actual sky itself seems to have this orange dark hue to it almost. And there's like a lot of fog, just sort of lingers. It sort of almost seems to linger just below the tree line. Like as you're sat on top of the trees, you see like the fog and the tree line seems to be quite interchanged with each other. You could be anywhere.
Casca shouting up. Do you see anything?
No, just trees.
Kind of kicks the dirt.
Can we don't see the sun anywhere.
No.
Don't see the moon. There's just an orange glow.
Do you see any rivers?
From where you are, no. Currently, you see that you're sort of on the slope of what's coming up to a mountain. So there is so you could feasibly like go down the slope and eventually come to a river or the coast, hopefully, if you just kept walking.
Yeah, let's do
But
that.
I think there's a chance that our north will very quickly become a different direction. Like that's kind of Matt saying that though, right?
Oh, you mean like as you're walking,
Yeah.
it's really hard to keep on the same.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. No. That's yeah. You're by all accounts quite lost here.
I think we should head down. There's only, without any idea as to where to go. There's only forward.
Could we not reuse the portal? Maybe wait.
And head back there.
Well, no, leave it a while. Leave it a while and use it and then come back out again.
I think that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it's wooded. It needs the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Leaving
You're
us.
an adventurer now, Cascus. You should adventure.
We could go to mountain. It's easy to live in mountain.
I don't. No.
I think we should go down.
Yeah, I think we should just go head down and see if we can find a river.
What about you, Yara? What do you think? You're good at nature stuff. Maybe you could find our way.
Well, I might be good at nature stuff, but I don't really know where we are or... No, I'm not a very good leader, I've got to be honest.
Well, you're probably the most qualified out of any of us.
It's got a point.
Well, I can do my best, I suppose. Well... Should I do a nature roll?
But to what, guide yourself through the
Yeah?
trees?
Like-
Yeah, go ahead.
Survival? What's more appropriate for like...
So survival is usually the one that if you're like trying to make your way through the woods and keep yourself on track.
Cool.
Can I help out with that as well?
Sure, make an aid. So you need to also do it.
Do we need a reason?
Survival.
Can we just do it?
No, but only one person can aid at a time. And if you critically fail, then they actually do worse. So
15.
okay. the typical DC is 20 for aid checks, so that's a fail. That's just a regular fail. But like the regular fail doesn't do anything. So
Yeah.
it doesn't change anything. All right, Yarrow. You're pretty, yeah. So you're just like, okay, well, let's just pick a direction and walk it, I guess. The trees around are strange. They're kind of jungle trees. The actual branches themselves and the leaves seem to be quite dark, and you're not quite sure whether that's just because of the fog and the low, like, sort of light around here, or whether there's something particularly about these trees which is just like they've had almost like a lot of their life sucked out of them. They seem to be almost like quite gnarly. They have leaves on them, but some of them are starting to become sort of more naked, almost like it's coming to winter. Even though this isn't the right time of year for them to be like that. That being said, continuing on for about half an hour, eventually you come to a sort of what's probably like just best described as a bit of a clearing in the woods. It's starting to open up into a bit of a swamp, and there's like sitting bits of water just all around the place. But you see in the distance, in this clearing that's opened up, there's like a sort of glow, like a red glow in the distance. And as you sort of like get a bit closer to it, you notice that there's a little camp surrounded by these pools of water that have these sort of glowing red crystals that just sort of protrude out of the water. It seems that this camp is abandoned, and it must have been used at one point as you're sort of looking around it from a distance. Maybe they were mining these crystals. The way that it's laid out, there seems to be like walkways over the pools of water. There seems to be all sorts of walkways and ways that like people can like reach these crystals around the place.
Well, this is all very creepy, innit? Well, this is where I found. I don't know what you make of it, but here we are.
This is so this is what you see.
There's a battle map, you know.
Ah!
What the fuck is that thing?
Oh,
What
nice
thing?
birds.
Well, the birds.
No, the thing to the left of.
Of me?
A little like scarecrow thing.
Oh, that's Nyx. Yeah, as you look around, you look down, and that's Nyx following you around.
Hello. How are you
Ah.
doing?
I don't know why I look like this. And the rest of you can see Nyx as well, by the way.
Oh.
Who's that?
That's you can see her.
Is this your child?
No, I don't have kids. Can you hear her?
I don't know. Oh, yes, we can.
What's going on here?
I don't know. Usually only I can see you. Why can you see? Why can you not see her?
Why would we know that?
Why would
Why
we not
can't
be
I
able?
change?
Why can't you can't change?
No.
Are we where you're from? Maybe.
I don't know where that is.
Aye, what is going on?
Sorry,
What?
did you
That
say
wouldn't be a
name?
very good
Sorry, do you say your name Nix?
Nyx, that's your service.
So you are
Yes.
normally invisible, not imaginary.
Yes.
Oh, this makes much more sense. Maybe you're okay in the head.
See, I'm not crazy. Sometimes seeing things that other people can't see makes sense.
I agree.
I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. We are in the middle of nowhere. It is pissing it down with rain. It is miserable, and there's some alien creature here that.
She's not an alien. She's one of the many things that live around you.
Well, this is clearly some kind of hijinks is going on here, and I do not like it.
You hear a snapping in the woods.
I immediately
Pull
draw
out.
my curved
Yeah.
blade.
Pull out Warhammer.
Get the old blunderbuss ready.
I think everyone. Probably.
Ready the old fingers.
Fingernails.
Okay.
Check.
Careful where you point that thing.
We'll
Okay. Where was the sound?
From over here somewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly approach.
You hear another crack from around here, and then from
follow
around
Joe.
here, and then from around here.
Show yourselves.
Slowly, sort of moving towards you in this strange lumbering motion, are creatures with leathery black skin and sort of strange shields for heads. They look like that. Ish.
The fuck?
As you watch as they're all slowly approaching from around you.
Are these more of your not imaginary friends?
I don't think I've seen them before. Have I seen them before?
Never seen these before.
Try to speak to them. Get them to stop.
Hello?
They all stop, like just like close, like from around here, all surrounding you.
Don't mean you any harm.
Just gonna switch to the bigger mall.
Don't pay attention to him. Pay attention to me. I don't mean you any harm. We're friends.
They have like these tentacles that sort of come out their back and are just floating in the air, almost like they're weightless. And they all sort of begin to just point towards you all.
Oh, for God's sake, it would be me that would lead us to these weird freaks.
Hey. They're just new. We might be the freaks.
Yes, could be every creature around here has shield for face. Wait,
And
quick.
tentacles coming out, it's whatever.
They're fine. They're not hurting us right now.
Right
They're
now.
just pointing at us.
Yeah, get them to go away.
Menacingly.
Menacingly.
Please get them to go away.
They all slowly start walking forward.
No, stay back.
Please stop.
Can I just approach? And I kind of raise my hands as a kind of peace among worlds kind of motion, I guess. Like
It sort of slowly walks up to you. As you sort of raise your hand out, it sort of raises its hand out as well, and you notice that its hand looks humanoid. It almost looks like there's a human underneath that. As he raises his hand out, all the tentacles begin to just shoot at, like, just sort of like spike up on their ends, and you feel this really low rumbling vibration coming from the ground as they all start to go. They all start to shake, and then all of them begin to just like sort of scurry off into the distance.
Oh, great. Something big is coming.
Can I
Right?
suggest we run?
I would
I
run.
like the idea.
Yeah, I'm
I
okay
like
with
that
running.
Bye. Task is start.
Gonna-
Can I touch Nyx in this form?
Yeah. You can touch her.
I kind of just scoop her up and start running.
Which direction
Switching.
are you running?
Northeast, because it's the closest.
That's where you've just
Yeah.
come from.
Oh,
Way.
Southwest then?
just like west. I don't know, south, like around the camp or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you begin to hear steps and large sort of shaking in the ground as all these little creatures skitter away. All right, and you're running, are you?
Definitely time
Yeah.
to take our leave.
All right, let's stop there then, shall we?
Yeah.
For the session, as you all rush off into the woods as this vibration is following you. All right.
See, science not crazy.
not like
Well,
that.
not
we
for that
could,
reason.
Like once this could all just be like still be like we're drunk. We're actually drugged as well as drunk by Simeon. This is
Yeah.
bad. There
All
was
right,
no
thanks
fire.
for playing, everyone.
No, thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
running.
running.
That was cool.
We'll see where this leads us next week.
Yeah. See you next week, spammers of indeterminate location.
See you next Sunday.